and people never really have to shame me, you know. I feel shame all for my own. Like the level of disappointment that I felt. Today, I'm gonna be sharing with you another story time. So, without any further ado, let's jump into this. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl JordanChrome. If you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe and join the army. That's Jordan's army. Okay guys, so before we jump into my story time, I did these. They're a few days old, but they're going strong. If you have not yet seen that tutorial, I've got you. I'm gonna link it somewhere here on the screen, so just be on the lookout for that card. We're just gonna jump into it. So for most of you who are new here and you might not know this, I became a mom at 15 years old. Well, I got pregnant at 15, but I officially became a mom at 16. I have 2 kids. I have a little baby girl. She is just a year old, and my son will be 16 in a few days. So I was 15 years old when I met my son's dad. So one day, my mom, she had a friend who lived in like 2 neighborhoods from me, and she's always at her house. So I usually go over there in the evenings, and you know, I just chill, watch TV, and wait until she's ready, then we go home together. So it was one day, went over there and told me that I could come at a later time. I think I had a Nokia 3410 at the time. If you don't know what Nokia 34 is, you're too young for the video here. Just click off. I'm just kidding. So I don't know, get 3410, and I was gonna go over there. So I'm usually shy, or I'm still shy, but I'm not as shy as I was when I was much younger. So whenever I would pass boys, I'd be like, you know, where's my phone? Let me take out my phone and play a little snake game until I get to my destination. So it was something like that. It was in the afternoon. I think it was probably about after 3 or something like that. I was going over there. When I turned the corner, they have like a football field, and there was a couple guys over there and they were playing. So I was like, oh my god, I start to freak out. I start panic, my heart a beat fast, like, oh my god, I have to walk past boys, like, you know. So but that really, they are freak out, because I went to all girls school. For all of my queens peeps that were there, leave a comment, big up on yourself. And so yeah, me I walk and take out my phone, and I'm like, you know, I'm like in my phone, you know. And so when I walk past, I pay them no mind, and my son's dad, he came over. And he was like walking beside me, you know. He was like hollering at me like, how you doing? And I never really like, you know, I never look on him, but just still listen to him I say. So, you know, me I walk and him I talk and me I respond, and I'm like, what's up with this guy? So it's like he passed 1 block, and my mother's friend lived on the 2nd block. So before I turned to go on the street that she lived on, he stopped and he said, I'm gonna turn back now, but I was wondering if I could get your number. So I was like, oh, this nigga cannot get my number. So I put my phone down and I looked up at him, and when I looked at him, I was like, it was like an type of moment. It was like, oh my god, he is fine. That is legit how I felt, or legit what I got through my head. I was like, he's fine, okay. I was like, I was taken aback. I say, yo, you know, I give my number because ain't nothing gonna happen, you know. So I gave him my number, and I basically just went on, you know, with my day like I was just doing the regular. So when I got to the house, he texted me because them time there I texted around things. Text. Right? Whenever I've no WhatsApp, no them something. He was texting and we were texting back and forth, and so it just became like second nature. Whenever I would go over there in the evenings, I would just stop there, you know, we just talk a little. I wouldn't spend a long time because I know my mother expect me. So me I said, you know, me for hurry up. So it's by, you know, having those little conversations with him, you know, we got to know each other. And I think it was like a couple months past that we were talking, and let me tell you how this happened. So it was one night I fell asleep early and I woke up and I was like, I was looking for my phone and I couldn't find my phone. At this time now I had a Sony Ericsson phone. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but me use them things there just to like as pointers to remember stuff. Some of that one little light up button, Sony Ericsson phone. I don't know if you know, remember them. If you remember them phone there, leave a comment. And I couldn't find my phone, so I was like, my mother never did there. I was like, don't tell me something I got my phone, because at the time my mom, she lost her phone downtown and she was using my phone. So I was like, she really got with my phone? And you know, me I expect to get my little text, you know. So I was like, may I go for my phone? So I left out the house. I not even know if I'm over there now, but I said, alright, may I go over there. So when I was walking over there and I got into my son's dad's neighborhood, I saw a friend of his and I was like, I'm gonna do one company at night. It wasn't like late at night, but I think it was like after 6 and it was getting dark. So I called to his friend and asked him, say, yo, which part him there? And his friend said he's home. He left from down here because him always hung out down the road. So it's like second nature for me assume that he's down there. Some friend say, you want me to call him? Someone said, sure. Some friend right up the road a few hours, come back with him on the bicycle. I want to see this with him. And then I said to him, say, oh, I think my mom has my phone. Have you texted me? And he said, no, I didn't as yet, but I was about to. I was like, okay, cool, she has my phone. Somebody asked him to follow me go up there. Him follow me go up there and she wasn't there. And I was like, so which part you gonna call my phone, yo? And after that, he walked with me and he said that he's gonna go by his house to change his clothes and then he will follow me home. Now when we got to his house, you know, I went inside, saw his brother at the time, his older brother, and you know, I'm just going in my room and there look for some clothes and I sit down on one of them bed because he had 2 beds in his room, one for him, one for his cousin. And you know, him there talk to me and me I talk to him. Now before I get into what I was gonna say a while ago, let me just finish the story time and then talk about, you know, what my experience was like being a teenage mom. So after I went in there, guys, when I know that video are too dark, like, let me know. So after I went inside and he was in there, you know, he and I were alone in his room. One thing led to another thing and I lost my virginity. So I felt weird and awkward and legit, guys, the entire time I was saying to him, like, I don't want to get pregnant because if I get pregnant, my mother will kill me. Even though this clown acting like he's a professional and he been there, done that, you know, shit. Said that, oh, I wouldn't let something like that happen to you, blah 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 blah. I was like, whatever. So to be honest, it wasn't planned, it was spontaneous, and I never thought that I would, you know, start having, you know, intercourse so young, because that was just never something that I wanted for myself. But anyways, it happened, done, gone through the door. Now me carrying on in my life, like, nothing had happened, you know, because I was like, alright, it's a one time thing, you know, I make him know so we can still talk, but I really don't want to try to go down the road there to like stray and get caught up in, you know, sexual relations, and I'm so young, I'm gonna finish school, like, nah. So anyways, how I found out I was pregnant, of course I missed my period. Well, not of course, but I missed my period 1 month. I was like, you know, I'm young, things happen, it can happen. 2 months come, girl still miss her period, and I'm like, no, mom, this is strange, this has never happened to me before, so something is up. So with a brave heart, like, me literally in my room the night, me never forget, me in my room, and me a ball. I'm say, Father God, please, Father God, please don't make me pregnant, like, please, like, this is the worst thing that could have happened to me, please don't make me pregnant. Little did girl know, say girl pregnant already. God can't stop what I'm already. So I get some of the courage, I'm say, this is it, I'm gonna tell my mom. So I went into my mom's room, and she was in there in our bed, and I went to her bed beside her, and I was like, you know, I missed my period. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. For how long? 2 months. She was like, so are you having sex? I was like, no. Like, Tawana was not having sex, okay? Tawana had sex once and pretend as if nothing happened and moved on with her life. So how would girl be pregnant when girl only did something once and she, you know, in same no him do? So I'm gonna take comfort in that. So I'm like, she's never gonna find out. Let me tell you this. On the 29th of December 2003, my mom took me to the doctor. Doctor checked me, and I found out that I was 3 months pregnant. Now, what I'm telling you, say, like, my whole world came crashing down. Literally mean my whole world came crashing down. Like, I start ball, like, I just a ball. My mother start ball, you know. She was like, what people are gonna think, because you know, when you grow up in the ghetto, if you don't know, when you grew up in the ghetto, it's like people are so judgmental, they're so negative, they fester on everything that is negative. So when you are somebody with quote unquote hype, because my mother have the little hype time then, you know, and you brag and go on, but you pick them and your daughter get pregnant, like, how dare you? So, you know, it was like a big thing, and I legit remember people in my neighborhood being happy that I was pregnant. People were literally happy that a young girl who is in high school, you know, got pregnant, and they made a big deal about it. Like, literally, the people them put at the keep on party to celebrate, for crush Ava, and all our hypeness and our chatting about our picking them, it would have been done. It would have been done. And I think that's where I developed a lot of resentment for people in my neighborhood, because me did young and I did naive to certain things, but I wasn't a fool, and I could read between the lines. So when I see them thing, I say, yo, this is so messed up, because so many times their kids get pregnant and they have an abortion, and you never hear anything of it, and no one ever talks about it, and nobody really business. Like, I'm not care, a year life, do what you want to do. So I said to myself, you know, this is a learning moment. This is something that you need to learn from, something you need to develop from. So let me tell you about what happened after I got pregnant. So after I got pregnant, the day that we found out, my baby father, his mother, his brother, basically his entire family also found out that I was pregnant. And you know, his mom was very supportive. She was like, well, you know, it's only 9 months, people got talk, but I think what is important is to send her back to school. So our main focus at the time, you know, my mom was working with his mom, it was to get me back in school. So I already knew that I'm going to have to miss school, and I already knew how my system in terms of my school is set up and how you get promoted to basically go to fifth form, because I was in fourth form at the time. So what happened, I told my mom that I wanted to be at school for my December exams and my January exams. It happened that the way all me salt, them pushed back exams till March. I stayed in school until 6 months pregnant and I stopped. So I came up with this plan, you know, and I told my mom, you're gonna write a letter and give it to my school, tell them that, because my dad was living overseas at the time, tell them my dad is living in the US, he's sick and he needs me to be there, so you're asking for some voluntary time away from school, because at the time my school did have that facility. Not a lot of persons knew about it though, but of course, you know, someone always want to be in the know, so I knew about it and I told my mom. So we wrote the letter, we gave it into the school gave me permission to be off until September. I was like, okay, great. So I did my exams and I left school in that was the March. Now I'm gonna get into now really and truly how I felt about teenage pregnancy, about being pregnant at such a young age, what people around me, how they treated me and so forth. So I left school and I went to a place called the Women's Center. It's still there, it's on, that's what, Trafalgar, it's on Trafalgar Road across from YMCA, and I spent 3 months there. So I enrolled there in March, I stayed there until June. While I was there, first thing, I told my mother I'm not going in halfway tree, so I had to take the bus, but I purposely avoided going into halfway tree because I don't want anybody from my school to see me. I didn't really want anyone to talk about me in terms of Anna is pregnant, Ray. I didn't want it. I never really want no negativity, so I avoided halfway tree. 1 or 2 people did see me, however I don't think it was like anybody that I really cared about if they saw me, so it was like whatever. I do remember though taking public transportation and having people stare at me, judge me. The hardest thing for me being a teenage mom was being judged by people. Like, you guys don't know the level of growth that I went through, but I did go through one phase where I never want nobody talking bad about me. Like, if my ear to somebody talk something bad about me, I'm like, I am obsessing about it. I'm like, oh my god, how can I fix it? I try to be perfect, and you know, after a while it got exhausting, and that's how I changed. And I was like, I don't care what people say about me. You know, it took me a couple years, I'm not even gonna lie, to get that out of me, to get that fear of being spoken bad about by others. And I'm like, I don't need, yes, if I'm gonna learn the word validation, the amount of power that word they give me, I'm just like never care what people are saying. So I felt closed off by society. I felt shunned. I felt ashamed, and people never really have to shame me now. I feel shame all for my own. Like, the level of disappointment that I felt, I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like, I was my biggest critic. Even today, I'm still my biggest critic. The worst part about being pregnant was being judged by others. Because the first thing people say is, oh, Shabad. And that was the worst. Like, you don't know me. Because I'm pregnant, it doesn't mean that I was bad. it doesn't mean that I was mixing up myself with many persons. It's not like my child's father is an adult, he's a teenager like me. When my son was born, I was 16 and my son's father just turned 18, right? He's 2 years older than me. And it really got me angry, and I was like, people are the worst. I think that's when I realized people are the worst, you know. And I had to leave my neighborhood. So when I left school at 6 months, I actually left. I stopped living with my mom. I was actually living with my godmother's friend, and she was very helpful, you know, with me. Everybody really had a role to play in me becoming me today, you know. Everybody chipped in when the baby was born, you know. They took turns to keep him, sent me back to school. I never thought I would have had a child at 16. I never thought about it, because that was never something that I wanted for myself, and it was never something that I aspired to. It was never something that I thought would have ever happened to me. Like, literally not in a million years. I never thought that I would bring, you know, shame at the time upon my mom and my entire family. But yeah, the level of shame and disappointment that I felt, I don't think anyone could have prepared me for that. And it was after I got pregnant with my son, I made a vow to myself. I was like, you're not gonna have another one, not until you have money or you can afford it. You're gonna go back to school, you're gonna finish school, you're gonna get a job, and you're not going to have 3 children by your 24 like your mom. Okay, you're not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. And I am happy to say that I stuck with my own promise to myself. I really went all out. I was like, it no matter where, if my son, father, and I break up tomorrow, it don't matter what Tom, Brown, Dick, or Harry want tell me say, ain't nobody getting a baby from me. Point blank. I said that to myself. Nobody. I'm not having no more babies. I'm taking my ass back to school, even though I'm broke. But by the grace of God, he helped me to go back to school. I graduated school. I went on to, you know, college. I got my first degree, and yeah, happy to know that I had a good support system, you know, who helped me really to regain control of my life. Because if I never had that, I wouldn't be able to go back to school. I know a girl in my community. She was pregnant. We were the same age. We got pregnant the same time. Her baby was born in February. I had my son in June. Boops. Couple months, she was pregnant again. Literally by the time I was like 24, 25, she had 4 kids. And also, if you're a teenage mom and you're watching this, you also have a part to play in terms of what is it that I ultimately want for my life. What is it that I want to become? What kind of parent am I going to be to my child? How can I better myself, and by extension better the life of my child and my family? You have to speak to yourself. You have to work hard. You have to work smart, and you just have to be determined. You have to have drive. Trust me, you have to have drive, because if you don't have those things, you have lost the race before you even started the race, you know. So I just wanted to share that experience with you guys, and just hope that if you are a parent, so if you're a parent like me and you have a teenager, you know, you got pregnant young, you have a teenager now, you have to talk to your kids. My son I give me no trouble. trust me, my son is a homebody. He's not like baby yard, and I praise Jesus for that every single day. From my son having him things them, him good. Him good. So I want to do a video with my son though. I'm gonna ask him if he's comfortable doing a video with me, and we can like do a sit down talk. You can hear his experience in terms of what it was like for him having a young mom. And you know, I never really asked him them things there, like when did he realize that his mother was young. I need to like, you know, talk to him and ask him these stuff. But I would love to have my son on my channel. He has his channel as well, his YouTube channel, but I won't link it now. I'll link it when I have him in the video, because I think he has more than one. He has one that's just vlogs and one that's him. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I would love for you to leave a comment though, to let me know, you know, what are your thoughts on this story time. And yeah, I just want you guys to just like this video, comment on this video, subscribe if you're new. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe.
Lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the closest starts